Hey y'all, today we are expecting several of our friends over for a sweet Christmas party where we can spend some time together, enjoy some good laughs, no kids allowed. We're really looking forward to it. But I wanted to give you a quick tour of my Christmas home, show you how I decorate everything, and just kind of give you a little glimpse of what I do inside my house instead of just outside my house like usual. As always, make sure you hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you know my latest videos are up, and make sure you go check me out on TikTok. And here is our Christmas tree for this year. We do a live Christmas tree each year. This one I did flocking on, so it has all the white snowy look. And I really love how all of my grandmother's ornaments, these are all handmade by her, how they really pop off of the lighter background of the Christmas tree. I think it looks really, really good together. And I've typically just done, the basic evergreen each year. This is the first year I've done the lighter color with the flocking, and I'm just loving the end result of it all. I like to tuck in different ribbons. This year I have these little just cords kind of tucked onto each little branch, which I think is really pretty. This is our second star. We had another star originally that broke that we had for 16 years of marriage, and then we ended up going to this one, and I love it because it shoots these little lights up on top, and my kids love that aspect of it. But I think this turned out really, really, really well. I even have a few presents wrapped already, so I'm kind of proud of that. But I really like the look of the Christmas tree into the dining room space. I think it's lovely, beautiful. Buffy's snoozing over here. She loves Christmas. And this is my dining room space. I actually work in this space every day. So it is currently cleaned up because we have friends coming over, but I typically have a computer set up, a office chair, the whole thing right here. And I enjoy this space for my office. This is an antique farm table that I inherited from my grandmother. I absolutely love it. It is a treasure, and it is definitely the centerpiece of my entire dining room space. I keep Christmas fairly simple in here because I am working in here, and I typically have a lot of stuff spread out, and I don't like it to be too cluttered. But I did use some of my Hager pottery that has the splatter glaze on there, which I love, and filled it with some vintage bottleneck trees, and then a couple of glass and gold terrariums I think are really pretty. It complements my plate ball. These are all vintage plates that I've collected over the years. Some of them have family stories. Some of them are just pretty ones that I love. This one in particular is called the squirrel plate. And when my family had not as much money, decades and decades and decades ago, they used to serve squirrels. So it's what it is for survival. But, and then these two cabinets are from IKEA. They store a lot of the things that I collect, my vintage items and such. Have a little bit of a snowy wreath over here, and that is about it for the dining room space for Christmas. And here's the fireplace mantle. I do have a separate video on this. Several different objects that have special memories to them, such as all of my grandmother's ornaments. She handmade all of these. A collected brass elements, including these brass candlesticks, a little brass bowl, these sweet little brass deer, and a brass urn over here. Really love the look of the fireplace. And if you would love to hear more of the stories from the fireplace, that is in a separate video that you all can watch. But I think this turned out beautiful this year. Very warm, very inviting. Over here are just some simple shelves, but we do have a Christmas bell collection over here. They're all vintage bells. They each have beautiful, beautiful sounds. My daughter and I have collected many of them. One of our favorite ones is this guy right here, this pewter. It makes me think of the jingle bell from Polar Express. And my kids love ringing these bells because every time you hear a bell ring, an angel gets its wings. And so they really enjoy that. This is one of my favorite Christmas ornaments. I keep it behind glass because it is a hand-blown glass fairy ballerina that my grandfather gave me years ago, and I treasure it. And over here, I do have several brass elements as well to tie back into the fireplace mantle. And I think it all pulls really nicely together. It's not overwhelming Christmas, it's just enough. I do like to keep it pretty simple in this particular seating area. This is a slip-covered couch because I do have 3 children and 2 dogs. And so I keep it pretty simple for them because we do spread out and do family movies. So not too many pillows or craziness here. Over here, I did want to show you this little collection we have here. We do have live Christmas trees, and these are the cuts from all the Christmas trees over the years that we've had. These are the bottom cuts, and so we collect all those along with a lot of my vintage Mercury glass ornaments, and I like to display those here at the coffee table every year, and my kids absolutely love it. And then they love aspects like this where I put in our old Christmas cards. The kids love to pull it out, go through them. It's really kind of fun. They have a really good time with things like that. So having just kind of things with different memories and such are just a really great way to add a lot of personality and a lot more kind of familiarity to the design, as opposed to just, going and buying something random and putting on your table. Having things with memories and stories behind them just adds a lot of warmth to the space. Okay, and this is one of my kids' favorite areas. We are avid Lego family. And so this is Hogwarts Lego for Harry Potter. And we've been collecting the pieces for multiple years, and we set it up for Halloween and Christmas. And this year I added this particular thing. It is a piece of wood wrapped in the faux snow. I added LED lights and then all of these bottle trees so that it would look like Hogwarts was behind a forest. And I really love the look out of it. I love the changing colors. The kids absolutely adore it. And it is such a fun touch for them. Mommy gets this side, so it looks all pretty. And then the other side, the kids enjoy moving around all the different parts and looking at all the different rooms. And they have a really great time with this particular piece of decor in our home. Okay, and here is the breakfast nook area. And this is the tabletop that my father made for me this year. The bottom is from a table that we grew up on, and then he redid the top so that it is circle round for my family. And I installed these shelves over here myself. I really enjoy decorating them up for different seasons and stuff. And a reminder, this is a working home. I have 3 kids and 2 dogs. So yeah, there's totally dog bowls, and there's little kid placemats, and there are those things in our home. And I want it to be functional for my kids, but I also want it to be beautiful and inspiring for myself. I love collecting vintage objects. So here are some vintage snowshoes up here. Merry Christmas, you filthy animal from Home Alone. We love that. Other elements I've collected over the years thrifting, such as brass containers that I love to just fill with bottles and greenery, some old ice skates. These are some of those wooden stamps, hand-carved wooden stamps. Here are all my beautiful antique wooden spools that are also utilized as candle holders. And these ornaments right here actually were made by my grandmother, and then my mother made them into candlesticks. She gave a set to myself and my 2 sisters. And I really like the look of this space inside my kitchen area. I love the green from the fresh plants that are in there. I have all of my Christmas cactus tucked over here, and they are all looking beautiful right now. Everything's coming along really well. They just recently got brought in, so they are just starting their bloom cycles. Beautiful. But yeah, so this is the breakfast nook kitchen space. Love it. Love all the details. My kids love checking things out on it. I kind of mess around and move things around on it every once in a while just for fun, but it looks good. Okay, and here's the master bedroom. We have a bank of windows over here that overlooks the cut flower garden and the willow tree, which I absolutely love. We usually keep it pretty simple for Christmas in here. I've had this plaid comforter for a while. I throw a little red on there, some winter pillows, a little bit of a red berry wreath up here on the wall. Simple, pretty, soft. And then this year I decided to up the ante, and I added in this tinsel Christmas tree that I got from my boss. We typically use it for installations for corporate companies, but we are downsizing that portion of the business. And so she had this tinsel tree available, and it has firecracker lights on it. So a ton of lights on there. I added in some of these giant snowflakes in there and some of these vintage tassel, kind of tinsel tassels that I ended up getting at a vintage market. I love the look of it over here with our two chairs. Got all my books on display. This was a piece I recently did, which utilizes a vintage wine cask with fresh evergreens and some of the mercury glass vintage ornaments. But I really like this room. It's nothing crazy over the top, just some beautiful accents. The tree, I love it. I love falling asleep to it. I love napping in this room with the tree on, which is great. And the whole space kind of has just a really soft Christmas wintry feel. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed a little tour of my home so you can see a little bit about what I do for Christmas decorating. I love decorating for the holidays. I love utilizing things that have stories and memories, and not necessarily a bunch of things that I picked up from a big box store. There's a place and time for those as well, but mostly things that I built over the years. It's taken a while to get to this point, 18 years of having my family in my home. And so I just love these touches, and I love bringing them out every season and enjoying them and making memories with my kiddos. As you can see, I'm ready to go for my party. I had to get this giant 1980s headband because it has rhinestones, and I feel like I'm wearing a crown, and it's fabulous. And I've got my ugly sweater on, so ready to go. We are gonna have a great time tonight. As always, she's a mad gardener or a decorator or anything else that she wants to be. Thanks, y'all.